Chapter 1: The Fateful Night at Sea. The sun gradually set, leaving the last flickers of light shimmering over the deep blue ocean. A sleek white yacht gently glided over the waves, a solitary speck amidst the vast expanse of the sea. Alex Miller stood on the deck, holding a glass of wine in his hand, his gaze quietly fixed on the distant horizon. From this height, the city with its dazzling lights and endless meetings seemed far away. Alex was accustomed to the fast-paced lifestyle, but recently a hollow emptiness had crept into his mind. Success, wealth, all of it felt meaningless when there was no one to share it with. He left New York in search of some peace, renting a private yacht to escape the noise. The ocean was the only place Alex felt free from the pressures of work and the false admiration of others. However, that peace didn't last long. The sea breeze suddenly grew stronger, and waves began to rise. Alex frowned, looking toward the horizon. Dark clouds slowly gathered, casting shadows over the sky. "Looks like a storm is coming," Alex murmured, hastily stepping into the wheelhouse. But before he could do anything, a massive wave crashed against the side of the yacht, throwing him into the sea. The icy seawater engulfed Alex, pulling him deeper. He struggled to stay afloat, but the relentless waves dragged him further away. Alex woke up to the first rays of sunlight filtering through a small window. The faint aroma of grilled fish lingered in the air, blending with the sound of waves gently lapping against the shore. He furrowed his brow and slowly opened his eyes. The room was small, simple, yet clean. Outside the window, a stretch of white sandy beach glistened under the morning sun. The cries of seagulls echoed in the clear sky. Alex sat up, his head still spinning. As he tried to piece together what had happened, a soft voice called from the door. "You're awake?" Alex turned around. Standing in the doorway was a slender woman with long brown hair tied neatly behind her back. In her hands was a steaming bowl of porridge, emitting a warm, comforting fragrance. "You're lucky," the woman smiled gently, placing the bowl on a small table. "If I hadn't gone out early, I wouldn't have found you." Alex looked at her, his blue eyes filled with surprise and gratitude. "Thank you. I'm Alex Miller." "Anna Harper," the woman replied, pulling a wooden chair closer to his bedside. "Eat up and get some rest. You're still weak." Alex glanced down at the steaming porridge, its simplicity starkly contrasting the luxurious meals he was used to. Yet strangely, every spoonful brought an unexpected sense of comfort. He looked around. The small coastal house was modest but exuded warmth. From the carefully mended curtains to the old but spotless wooden table, Alex realized there were no signs of wealth, yet it held the tranquility he had always longed for. "When will the boats arrive?" Alex asked, his gaze drifting toward the sea. Anna shrugged, her eyes reflecting optimism. "Maybe in a few days. The recent storm damaged some routes. But don't worry, you can stay here until the boats come." Alex nodded, feeling slightly uneasy. He was used to managing million-dollar projects, but here he was just a stranger unable to fend for himself. "So, is there anything I can help with?" Anna laughed, shaking her head. "Just rest. In this fishing village, guests rarely have to work." Alex smiled. For the first time in months, he felt at ease, as if all the burdens of life had melted away with the waves outside. Alex didn't know that this was the beginning of a new journey, one where he would discover much more than he ever expected. Welcome to Soul Stories. Today we bring you a heartwarming tale. Let us know which city you're tuning in from around the world. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to catch more meaningful stories. Chapter 2: Staying to Repay the Favor. The next morning, Alex woke up as the first rays of sunlight filtered through the small window, casting a soft golden glow over the modest room. The gentle sound of waves lapping against the shore blended with the faint aroma of grilled fish drifting in from the kitchen. When Alex stepped out of the room, Anna was already sitting on the front porch, skillfully mending a torn fishing net. Her father, Mr. Harper, was preparing the boat for an early trip out to sea. "You're up early," Anna smiled, glancing up at Alex as the sea breeze tousled her loose hair. Alex stood there, feeling the lingering chill left by the storm the night before. In the distance, several damaged boats rested silently on the sand, and the paths leading out of the village were still covered in mud. "I guess I won't be leaving anytime soon." Alex sighed, his gaze fixed on the muddy road ahead. Anna nodded slightly. The rescue boats will come, but not right away. You'll have to stay for a few days. Alex was silent for a moment, then flashed a faint smile. If that's the case, I suppose I should do something to help, as a way to repay you for saving my life. Anna laughed, her eyes sparkling. Helping is good, but I'm not sure a wealthy businessman like you can handle life in a fishing village. Alex shrugged. Let's find out. On his first day, Anna took Alex out to sea with her father. The three of them sat on a small boat, bobbing gently with the waves. The wind was strong, and Alex quickly realized that fishing wasn't as simple as it seemed. Anna handed Alex a fishing net, guiding him on how to cast it into the water. On his first try, Alex threw the net in the wrong direction, causing it to snag against the side of the boat. Wait, let me untangle it! Alex hurriedly pulled the net up, accidentally tipping over a bucket of freshly caught fish into the ocean. Anna laughed, covering her mouth to stifle the sound. You just send our catch back to the sea, Alex. Alex lowered his head, his face flushing with embarrassment. Sorry, I'm not used to this. It's all right. First time for everything, Anna reassured him, gently retrieving the net. Let me show you again. Alex watched Anna quietly. She moved with ease, casting the net, pulling fish aboard, and repairing any rips in the net with swift, practiced hands. She joked with her father as they worked, showing no signs of exhaustion or complaint. Over the next few days, Alex continued to join Anna at sea. Despite his best efforts, he still couldn't match her skill. By the time they returned each afternoon, his skin was sunburned and his arms and legs ached from hauling nets all day. One morning, Alex sat at the edge of the boat, staring at his blistered hands. Anna approached, placing a small jar of ointment in his palm. Apply this. If you don't, you won't be able to hold the net tomorrow. Alex looked up at her, smiling wearily. Thanks. I don't think I've ever done anything this difficult before. Anna sat down beside him, squinting at the distant horizon. You might be a great CEO, but here in the village, you're just a rookie. Alex chuckled, his laughter echoing across the calm sea. Then I'll try my best to get promoted. Anna smiled but said nothing more. They sat in silence, the breeze playing with their hair and the sound of the waves softly filling the air. Gradually, Alex began to adapt to life in the fishing village. Each morning, he joined Anna at sea, spent the afternoons repairing nets, and listened to her father's stories about his younger days as they sat on the porch in the evenings. Alex felt something he hadn't experienced in years, peace and a sense of belonging. Gone were the high-stakes meetings and extravagant parties, replaced by simple, quiet days with Anna and her father. One night as they sat on the beach, Alex let out a soft sigh. I never thought I could feel this content, even with the simplest things. Anna tilted her head, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. Sometimes peace comes from the smallest things. You just have to stop and notice it. Alex remained silent, his gaze lingering on Anna's gentle face. Deep within him, a new feeling began to blossom. Subtle, but genuine. Chapter 3. A warm heart amidst poverty. The sun slowly began to set, casting a soft golden glow over the fishing village. Alex stood on the shore, holding an old fishing net that Anna had asked him to take for mending. In the distance, small boats bobbed gently on the waves, scattered like tiny dots across the water. Alex had been in the village for over a week. Initially, he felt out of place, but the simplicity of life here gradually became familiar. Mornings were spent at sea, afternoons mending nets, and evenings sitting on the porch, listening to the sound of the ocean breeze. It was a stark contrast to the life he once knew, surrounded by towering skyscrapers and endless meetings. That afternoon, on his way back from repairing the nets, Alex noticed Anna carrying a large basket of fish. She quietly walked along a narrow path leading to an old house at the edge of the village, the home of Mrs. Helen, an elderly woman who had fallen ill and lived alone. From a distance, Alex watched as Anna placed the basket at the front door, gently knocked, and walked away without waiting for any acknowledgement or thanks. When Anna returned, Alex couldn't suppress his curiosity. Did you just bring fish to Mrs. Helen? Alex asked, his gaze drifting toward the half-empty basket. Anna smiled, brushing the sand off her hands. Yes, she lives alone and can't go out to sea. She asked me to bring her some fish last time, so I thought I'd stop by on the way back." Alex looked at Anna for a long moment. "But you don't have much to spare." Anna shrugged, her smile unwavering. "It's true I don't have much, but if I can help someone, I believe I should." Alex fell silent. In his world, people only cared about profits, wealth, and competition. Those around him were always fighting for opportunities, sometimes even at the expense of others. But here, Anna was willing to share despite having little herself. "Aren't you afraid you won't have enough to eat?" Alex asked, his voice tinged with both curiosity and disbelief. Anna chuckled softly, her gaze drifting toward the distant horizon. "You know, life in the village is tough, but if everyone shares a little, we can all live better. Sometimes giving away one fish can make a big difference." Alex stood still, letting Anna's words sink in. That evening, Alex sat on the porch, gazing out at the sea. Anna was inside, preparing dinner, while her father worked on repairing a small boat nearby. Alex glanced down at his own hands, which were calloused and rough from the past few days of fishing and mending nets. He thought about his life in the city, the million-dollar deals, the important meetings, but never once had he considered sharing even the smallest portion of his wealth with others. Anna, on the other hand, lived in poverty, but possessed a heart full of kindness. At dawn, as Alex stirred from his sleep, he saw Anna preparing another basket of fish to take out. This time, Alex didn't ask any questions. He simply got up and quietly approached her. "Let me come with you," he said, reaching out to take the basket from her hands. Anna tilted her head slightly, studying Alex with a glimmer of surprise in her eyes. "You don't have to do this," she said softly. Alex smiled, stepping forward onto the narrow path. "You were right. Life gets easier when we share." They walked together along the village path, leaving behind footprints that stretched long on the white sand. Alex realized that there were lessons he could never learn in a boardroom, lessons that only revealed themselves when he immersed himself in the simplicity and sincerity of people like Anna. And deep within Alex, a change was beginning to take shape, a transformation sparked by the smallest yet most meaningful acts of kindness. Chapter 4. When the Heart Begins to Stir. Alex awoke as the first rays of sunlight crept through the small window. The steady rhythm of waves caressing the shore brought him a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years, lost amidst the bustling city life. Since staying in the fishing village, Alex had grown accustomed to the slower pace of life. The relentless meetings and constant pressure of work were gone. Now his days began with Anna and her father, heading out to sea for the morning catch. As Alex stepped outside, Anna was already standing on the boat, her long brown hair swaying gently in the early breeze. She waved at him, her smile radiant, reflecting the sunlight glimmering over the water. "You're slow. The sun's about to rise," Anna teased. Alex chuckled, climbing onto the boat to sit beside her. He was no expert fisherman, but spending each morning with Anna brought him a sense of calm and ease he hadn't experienced in years. In the evenings, after returning from the sea, Alex and Anna often sat on the beach, watching the sunset. The sky turned hues of orange and red, casting golden reflections over the water's surface. Alex leaned back on the sand, propping himself up with his hands as he quietly observed Anna. She sat beside him, eyes fixed on the horizon, where the sun slowly dipped below the waves. In that peaceful moment, Alex realized he had begun to develop feelings for the young woman from the village. Anna wasn't like the women Alex had encountered in the city, women who often tried to impress or seek something from him. She was simple, genuine, and full of life. Anna made Alex realize that some things couldn't be bought with money, and happiness could often be found in the simplest moments, like sitting next to someone in complete, serene silence. One evening, just as the sun was setting, Alex broke the silence. "If you ever had the chance to leave here, would you?" Anna paused slightly, her gaze still fixed on the distant sea. A gentle breeze passed by, carrying the salty scent of the ocean. "No." Anna shook her head softly, her voice as light as the waves. "The village is my home. My father, the sea, and the people I love are all here." Alex fell silent, letting Anna's words echo in his mind. He realized that Anna's connection to the village wasn't out of obligation or necessity. She genuinely loved this place. Every wave, every breeze, and the simple, kind-hearted people around her. Alex suddenly understood that he had never felt that sense of belonging, not to any place or anyone, the way Anna felt toward her village. On the long stretch of sand, Alex and Anna remained seated in silence. But it wasn't an awkward silence. The waves continued to crash gently along the shore, bearing witness to the unspoken connection growing between them. Alex glanced at Anna, catching her gaze shimmering in the fading light. He smiled softly, feeling his heart beat just a little faster. "You really do love this village, don't you?" Alex asked, his voice warm and low. Anna turned toward him, nodding slowly. "Yes, it's where I grew up. It's everything I have." Alex said nothing more, but a strange feeling stirred within him. For the first time in his life, he found himself longing for a place to call home. And perhaps that place was right in front of him. Chapter 5, A Turning Point and the Decision to Stay. Life in the peaceful fishing village flowed by gently until one early morning when Alex was preparing to go out to sea with Anna. Suddenly, her father, Mr. Harper, collapsed right in front of their house. "Dad!" Anna cried out, rushing to catch him. His face was pale and his breathing was rapid and shallow. Alex quickly ran over, helping Anna carry her father inside to his bed. The small room filled with tension and worry. Anna sat beside her father, gripping his hand tightly. Alex could see the fear in her eyes, a vulnerability he hadn't seen before. Once Mr. Harper drifted into sleep, Anna remained by his side, her gaze distant and troubled. "My father's been sick for a long time, but he always hid it from me. Now it's getting worse." Anna sighed, her voice breaking slightly. Alex glanced around the modest home. A few fishing nets, some worn-out furniture. He realized that no matter how hard Anna worked, the cost of medical treatment would be a heavy burden on her family. "Let me help," Alex said softly. Anna turned to look at him and shook her head gently. "You've already done so much for us. This is my family's responsibility." Alex met her eyes with unwavering determination. "Anna, I can't just stand by and watch your father suffer. We'll take him to a hospital in the city. I'll cover all the costs." Anna hesitated, her eyes reflecting the conflict in her heart. She knew she couldn't leave her father untreated, but accepting Alex's offer felt like too much. After a long pause, she finally nodded. "Thank you, Alex." The next morning, Alex arranged for Mr. Harper to be taken by boat to the nearest city. On the journey, Anna held her father's hand tightly, her eyes filled with concern. Alex sat quietly at the back of the boat, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon. His mind was flooded with thoughts. His life and Anna's were worlds apart. He came from skyscrapers and boardrooms, while she grew up by the sea in this humble village. Yet despite their differences, Alex felt more connected to this place than anywhere else. When they arrived in the city, Mr. Harper was immediately admitted to the hospital. Anna stayed to care for him, while Alex left to handle the paperwork and cover the medical expenses. Alex stood outside the hospital, watching the bustling crowds move around him. The city was loud and fast-paced, a stark contrast to the calm of the fishing village. As he left the village, Alex felt an unexpected emptiness settle in his heart. Everything seemed to fall back into its usual rhythm. The busy streets, the constant phone calls. Returning to his luxury apartment, Alex realized that the spacious, elegant rooms now felt hollow. The comfort he once cherished seemed to lack something the village had given him. Anna. The fishing village was no longer just a random escape or a place to hide from reality. It had become home, the place where his heart longed to be. After a few days, once everything at the hospital had stabilized, Alex accompanied Anna and her father back to the village. But deep down, Alex knew he wouldn't be able to stay away for long. One morning, as Alex packed to return to the city for work, he paused outside Anna's house. "You're going back to the city?" Anna asked, her eyes reflecting a quiet sense of longing, though she remained composed. Alex nodded, though hesitation lingered in his expression. "Maybe temporarily," he smiled softly, "but I think I'll be back here soon." Anna gazed at him, a gentle smile forming on her lips. "The village will always welcome you, Alex." Alex gave her hand a light squeeze before stepping away into the golden morning light. But this time, he didn't feel like he was truly leaving, because he knew he would return, not for the ocean, but for the woman who had quietly captured his heart. Are you still following this story on our Soul Stories channel? Comment Coca-Cola to let us know you're still with us. Chapter 6, Returning to Stay Together. After more than 3 weeks in the city, Alex finally returned to the fishing village. His car slowly rolled along the narrow dirt road leading down to the shore, where the golden hues of the sunset bathed the horizon. The village appeared before him, peaceful and simple, just as it had been the day he left. The corrugated iron roofs, the white sandy paths running along the coast, and the small boats swaying gently with the waves in the distance. All of it felt like home. Stepping out of the car, Alex took a deep breath. The salty air from the sea wrapped around him, bringing a familiar comfort that the city could never provide. When Alex arrived at Anna's house, she was mending nets on the porch. Hearing his footsteps, Anna glanced up. A flicker of surprise crossed her face, but it quickly melted into a warm smile. "You're back?" Anna asked softly, unable to hide the joy in her voice. Alex nodded gently, resting his hand on the wooden doorframe. "I told you I'd come back." Anna chuckled lightly and pulled out a small chair, motioning for him to sit beside her. They sat there gazing out at the sea as the sun slowly dipped below the horizon. That evening, the night sky above the village sparkled with stars. A gentle sea breeze whispered through the air, brushing against the waves that rolled softly onto the shore. Alex and Anna walked slowly along the beach, their bare feet sinking into the cool sand as the water lapped at their toes. The night was quiet, save for the sound of the ocean and the moonlight shimmering over the water's surface. Alex came to a stop, his eyes fixed on Anna as she walked a few steps ahead. "Anna!" Alex's voice broke the silence, calm and steady. Anna turned to face him, her clear eyes reflecting the starlight above. Alex stepped closer, standing directly in front of her. His gaze held sincerity, as if he was about to say something he had carried in his heart for a long time. "I've had everything, but I've never felt complete the way I do when I'm with you." Alex spoke slowly, each word filled with raw honesty. Anna looked at him, her lips trembling slightly. "I don't know what I can offer you, but I want to stay here and build a life with you." Anna remained silent, her heart racing at the weight of his words. A soft breeze carried the scent of salt and the strange, fluttering feeling that lingered in her chest. She lowered her head slightly, hiding the tears that welled up in the corners of her eyes. "I never thought I'd be the reason a millionaire would want to stay in this fishing village." Alex laughed quietly, stepping closer and gently taking her hand in his. "I'm not a millionaire here. I'm just Alex." Anna lifted her gaze to meet his, her eyes glimmering with happiness. "Well then, Alex," Anna whispered with a soft smile, tightening her grip on his hand. "I think the village will be glad to have you stay." Alex smiled, pulling Anna into his arms, letting her rest against his chest beneath the vast starry sky. In that moment, Alex knew he had found his place, not in towering skyscrapers or bustling streets, but in this humble fishing village, with Anna and the people he had grown to cherish. Beneath the blanket of stars, love quietly blossomed, carried by the waves and the ocean breeze. Chapter 7, A Simple Wedding by the Sea. At dawn, as the sun rose over the ocean, its golden light stretched across the long beach. The cool sea breeze rustled through the palm trees, carrying the familiar scent of salt and sand. The peaceful fishing village bustled with excitement. Today was a special day. It was the day Anna and Alex would officially become husband and wife. The wedding wasn't held in a luxurious hotel or an extravagant venue, but right on the beach, the very place where they had shared so many memories. The villagers came together to build a wedding arch out of seashells and wildflowers. Old fishing nets, carefully cleaned, were draped in white along the aisle, and simple wooden chairs lined the sand in neat rows. Alex stood on the shore, dressed in a plain white shirt, holding a bouquet of fresh daisies he had picked that morning. His eyes followed the horizon, watching as Anna approached in a simple yet elegant white dress. Her hair cascaded gently down her back, and she walked barefoot along the soft sand, glowing with quiet happiness. The children of the village scattered petals from small baskets, leading the way to where Alex stood waiting. Despite his fragile health, Mr. Harper smiled proudly as he held his daughter's hand, guiding her to Alex. When Anna finally stood beside him, they exchanged glances, saying everything without uttering a single word. The wedding was officiated by the village elder, a man who had witnessed countless unions along the shores of the village. His voice was calm and warm as he began. Today we gather not only to witness the union of two souls, but also to celebrate the blending of two lives, one born of the sea and the other a stranger who found his home here. Alex and Anna held hands, standing before the entire village. In this village, I am not a millionaire, nor a successful businessman. I am simply a man who found love and peace in the arms of this woman, Alex said softly, his eyes never leaving Anna's. Tears glistened in Anna's eyes as she smiled. I never thought I'd be the reason a man like you would stay in this place. Alex gently squeezed her hand and replied, because this place has become my home. Applause echoed along the shore, blending with the sound of the waves as if the ocean itself was offering its blessing. After the wedding, Alex and Anna didn't leave the village for an extravagant honeymoon. Instead, they chose to remain by the sea, continuing their simple life together. Alex scaled back his responsibilities in the city, entrusting much of his company to a reliable management team. He spent more time at the village, helping Anna care for her father and working alongside the local fishermen. Alex also used his resources to build a small community center for the village's children, a place for learning, care, and growth. Anna managed the center, while Alex occasionally held classes, teaching the children about life beyond the village and inspiring them to dream big. Each evening, Alex and Anna walked along the shore, watching the children play as the sun set. Though Alex sometimes had to return to the city for business, he always made his way back to the village as soon as his work was done. Anna would often tease him, "You're still a millionaire.